Hey, everybody, on today's show. A brand new memo has been declassified by the FBI that proves once and for all the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton and her little cronies were 100% involved with a pay to play scheme when she was Secretary of State. So, we're going to talk about that. Speaking of Satan's muse, Hillary Clinton, her and John Brennan all of a sudden are suggesting that a certain person be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. I wonder why that could possibly be. And finally, these deep staters who all get the same script, who are all beholden to God knows who, they really, really need a new slogan because they're getting so tired and played out. So stick around for all that today on the Angela Box Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box.
So you're talking my name.
Okay, over the weekend, the eternally badass Kash Patel basically validated everything that we've known for quite some time, thanks to people like Peter Schweitzer, John Solomon, Hannity screaming from the rooftops about it. Like, basically, that Clinton Foundation thing, it's as corrupt as you thought it was because Obama's Deputy Attorney General, Sally Yates, basically told the FBI to shut everything down. Like, let me set this up for you. So Hillary Clinton had a secret email server, right? A secret server that was unsecured that she installed in the basement of her Chappaqua mansion and was receiving classified documentation back and forth between her and members of the Obama administration and God knows who else. Now, obviously, the reason, or one of the reasons, that the FBI was told to shut this down was because one, Barack Obama, the first Black president, and members of his cabinet, and again, God knows who else, was emailing with said server and Hillary Clinton using alias emails, not using .gov emails because they were trying to hide what they were doing, obviously. And so the FBI was like, well, this is a little weird. So let's open up an investigation into this. And what did they find? They found that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, under the guise of the Clinton Foundation, which is now run by their beautiful and stunning and super accomplished daughter, Chelsea, are basically, they had 19 different bank accounts open so money could be funneled in and out to the Clinton Foundation. It's sort of shades of the Biden crime families, 22 shell companies. But anyway, they all seem to like talk amongst themselves about how to best illegally store money away from prying eyes of lawmakers and, the law. Anyhow, Sally Yates, when she got wind of the FBI finding these very curious bank accounts, and also that they were looking into all the people emailing back and forth and looking at like what's going on here. Is there a pay to play scheme? Yes, there is, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, there is, Sally Yates. And so Sally Yates told the FBI, and obviously she was getting the directive from the definitely born in the United States and not Kenya, Barack Obama, to shut it down. This is now in writing. Okay. So Kash Patel declassified this memo that showed that the Obama administration was basically obstructing justice and basically letting Hillary Clinton get away with whatever she's getting away with, because I suspect that she was probably kicking some of it back to Obama. I mean, wouldn't that make some sense? Now, here are some of the here is what Sally Yates said. Shut it down. And this is what Andy McCabe said. Deputy FBI Director Andy McCabe, quote, "You do nothing unless you come through me." And here's how much these countries gave to the Clinton Foundation. Okay, here are some of them. And this is coming from an ex-poster. He has a really good account called Real Robert. We have Saudi Arabia, 14.5 million. Kuwait, 5 to 10 million. United Arab Emirates, 1 to 5 million. Oman, 1 to 5 million. Qatar, 1 to 5 million. Embassy of Algeria, 500,000. And this is from CNN. And then it continues, at least 85 of 154 people from private interests who met or had scheduled phone conversations with Clinton while she led the State Department were also bribers. Those 85 donors contributed. You guys, sit down for this. Sit down for this. These 85 donors contributed as much as $156 million. At least 40 of them donated more than $100,000 each, and 20 gave more than a million. And this is from the AP. So there are Hillary Clinton and her amazing husband, Bill Clinton, and their beautiful and accomplished daughter, Chelsea Clinton, are in big, big trouble here. They are in big, big trouble here. Because after Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election, so weird, like 98% of the donations to the Clinton Foundation dried up. You know, that do-goodery organization known as the Clinton Foundation. And I think we're going to come to find out that the Clinton Foundation is involved in a number of nefarious things. I'm just spitballing here, but maybe child and human sex trafficking come to mind. So yeah, we now have a direct proof that Obama and his administration were telling the FBI, you better shut this down. You better shut it down, because it all leads to who? Barack Obama, the first black president. And God, we can't have that, because his administration was scandal-free. It's clean and pure as the wind-driven snow. Isn't that what they told us for over and over and over again? And y'all, this story is just getting started. And now the declassified memo has come out that shows that, yes, indeed, Peter Schweitzer, John Solomon, Hannity, all kinds of people that have been screaming from the rooftops for, again, these many years, that the Clinton Foundation was basically a pass-through money grab for Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now it turns out that they were 100% correct. And I just wonder how long it's going to take before people like a Sally Yates to maybe knock on the door of Pam Bondi going, hey, I don't know if you're taking any plea deals yet, but I want one. I want one. And how long is it going to be before FBI agents who have been silenced, who have been told to go along to get along, how long is it going to be before they're like, yeah, we've been talking about this for a very long time. So Hillary Clinton, when she was Secretary of State, the headline is, and of course, the mainstream media is not talking about this. Legacy media is not talking about this. The New York Times is over there saying, you know, what Democrats really need to do is get rid of the Constitution and pack the courts in order to, have any shot of being a viable political party, and amnesty all the illegals. Like, they're basically out and proud now saying, this is what Democrats need to do. It's like, well, thank you for telling us what we already know about you. But, thank you for the clarification. They're not discussing this whatsoever. No. It's just, right-wing media and X that is discussing this. So it's like, Kash Patel and also Pam Bondi have been on TV saying, listen, there are grand juries that are being convened. We're not going to tell you who they're looking at, because, if they don't come back with an indictment, that would not be fair to the people that we are looking at. But suffice it to say, there are several going on around the country, and you'll know soon what we're talking about. And Kash Patel said that what the American people are experiencing right now is a bit of an education. This is the time for all of the cards to be laid on the table, essentially, so the American people can see just how evil the deep state truly is. All right, and speaking of old Cankles, Satan's Muse, Hillary Clinton, again, over the weekend, Donald Trump had a hold my beer moment, because none of these people thought that Trump could get anything done regarding Ukraine and Russia. There's just such a terrible war, and it's just so entrenched, and oh no, what are we going to do? We need to send 300 billion more untraceable American dollars over there. And Trump's like, no, we're going to have peace. We're going to have peace. And so Friday, he had Putin in Alaska with the backdrop of pursuing peace, so the whole world can see it. Now, not an immediate deal was made. And of course, the New York Times and the Daily Beast were like, Trump didn't get a deal. It's like, first of all, you a-holes have been encouraging this bloodshed for like 3 years now. So save it, okay? None of you want peace because all of you are on the take, and Ukraine is one of the top 3 or 4 most corrupt countries in the world where the deep state likes to launder its money. So have all the seats, all right, media. But then what was really, really rich is that over the weekend, first Hillary Clinton, Satan's Muse, and John Brennan came out. John Brennan, former CIA director, one of the most evil men on planet Earth, totally looks like a Disney villain. They both came out over the weekend and they were like, if Trump can get this done, I say we nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, I'll do it myself. First of all said conditions that Satan's Muse and Disney villain John Brennan put on, if this, then that. Like, okay. First of all, Ukraine is going to have to give up territory. They just are. Okay. They are. Now, second of all, everybody with 2 brain cells to rub together knows the only reason that Satan's Muse and the Disney villain John Brennan are saying that we'll nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize is because they're under investigation by the Trump DOJ. They are so convinced that Trump's ego is so fragile and so malleable that just by like fluffing him up or saying, aren't you doing a great job, that he's going to go, okay, never mind. We won't look at you for, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax and the stolen election of 2020 and creating COVID to get rid of one person so they could get their mail-in ballots in their drop boxes, et cetera, et cetera. Like, they're just like, never mind. I don't think it's going to work. Now, Ukraine, Zelensky showed up at the White House wearing a big boy suit, which we're all very excited about. And I think he knows that the jig is up also. I think he knows that it is time to get in line with Donald Trump because this is just a matter of time before this war is over. And Putin told Trump that, this whole thing never would have started if you were president. And Trump's like, thank you. Thank you for telling me something I already know. And also he mentioned on Hannity that we need to get rid of those mail-in ballots. We need to get rid of those mail-in ballots and the drop boxes and the Voldemort machines, because without those, Trump would not have lost the election. He said, that's what Putin told me, and I happen to agree with him. So what did Trump do on Monday? Trump decided to create an executive order that will be eliminating voting machines and mail-in balloting, because no civilized country has mail-in balloting. None. It is rife with fraud. And everybody knows that if you look inside these algorithms of these Voldemort machines, they can create little algorithms that will switch votes 6% from candidate A to candidate B. So whoever pays the most money, and it's generally Democrats, whoever pays the most money gets the outcome they want. So those days are coming to a screeching halt as well. So look, it's not over yet. But I imagine that the deal between Trump and Putin has already been made. And this is going to be a real shakeup for the deep state, because the deep state, they need this war. They need Russia to be the boogeyman. They need all of these things to continue. They need Ukraine to continue to be a money laundering hub for them. And God knows what else they're trafficking. But I think we're coming to an end to that. And if Zelensky was smart, he would start telling Trump what he knows. I imagine that this is probably already happening. So stay tuned. Okay, and finally, you guys, this is just a funny little quick thing. These people, they really need a new slogan. But the deep state is so desperate to remain in control. I mean, they're basically buying rent-a-mobs. Everybody can see over the weekend with their little stupid protest in Washington, D.C. It was like all white people. And it was like, how come it's all white people at this Washington, D.C. rally? And it's like, because they're buying the protesters, which now it's sort of understood that this is exactly what is happening. They basically have run-a-mobs that they're buying. So in essence, the only people that are upset about what Donald Trump is doing in Washington, D.C., AKA arresting criminals, cleaning up the filth, cleaning out the homeless camps, making sure that people can walk down the street safely, just normal quality of life things that Democrats seem to have. I don't know. They've lost the ability to understand these simple things are, generally speaking, what people want. Like, they just want to be able to live in peace. Okay. They don't want Democrats to come in and say, well, I don't know, there's nothing we can do about this. I mean, it's just the way it is, just like the open border. Exactly like the open border. We can't stop these people from coming. And then Trump, what does he do? In like 3 months, shuts the whole thing down. And now, like, nobody's coming. So Trump cleaning up Washington, D.C. is a real problem for these Democrats, because it's going to show that, once again, Democrats have lied to you. And in fact, these problems can be solved, and they can be solved pretty easily. But don't tell that to the people still on the deep state payroll. Don't tell that to people like David Brooks, who is a conservative. Oh, he's a conservative. Yeah, kind of like Nicole Wallace, New York Times columnist, like fake Republican, whatever. Along with Muriel Bowser, the Washington, D.C. mayor, along with J.D. Pritzker last week, Jabba the Hutt. What do they all say, ladies and gentlemen? Trump is, in essence, a different verse of the same song. Trump is destroying our democracy. We have to save our democracy. Trump is taking mustard gas to our democracy. Like, it's like, it really sort of, to me, is a head scratcher, because, like, I know that people that listen to legacy media and read the New York Times, I know that they are of a certain ilk, okay? And they believe everything these people tell them. But at some point, you would think that one or two of them would be like, why are you guys all saying the same thing over and over and over again? And why is it the things that you say would come to pass haven't come to pass? Why is it that Trump is actually doing things that are pretty common sense and things that the American people seem to want? Like, when are some of you absolute retards going to pop your heads up and understand that you've been taken for a ride? Just like y'all have been taken for a ride when it comes to climate change, or take your pick. So, yeah, get a new script, Democrats, because the Save Our Democracy crap is getting very old. It's getting very old and tired, much like Satan's muse Hillary Clinton is getting very old and tired. And y'all, it's just going to be a matter of time. All these people are in the finding out portion of our broadcast, and I can't wait for more. All right, that's how I'm going to leave today's video. Please let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next video. Thy will be done. Bye.